Shalom, Barakatah Yahuwah, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth, and much respect to the Akim out there laboring his work, and also to the believers scattered across the four corners of the earth, the hopeful elect of the USA. Shalom. So yeah, it's going to be a quick exhortation, a faith booster for the hopeful elect concerning the times of trouble that we're about to approach. As we see shit breaking off over there, between Russia and Ukraine, the United States, and there's wars and rumors of wars, and there's also, martial law. All right, there's being established over there in Ukraine, and that stuff is gonna come here to America, in which this place will be raided by foreign troops. And that's going to lead to the time of Jacob's trouble, in which we're going to need help from on high, from Yahuwah Ba'ashem Shai. Now, we understand, according to the scriptures, that, let's get this real quick, Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahuwah from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him." Yeah, we understand that scripture, but what if the Lord does not lift up that standard during that time? All right, are you going to lose faith and think within yourself, the Lord is not going to save me? Well, no, because as the scripture says, some of us are going to have to be thrown into prison to be tried. All right, Revelation 2 and 10, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison." Okay, when they come in like a flood and round you up, it says that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right, so the times that we're coming into are going to be a time of heavy trials. It's not going to be a easy go. As Acts 14 and 22 say, through much tribulation we shall enter into the kingdom. So we have to expect to be thrown into the abyss, thrown into darkness, very hard and tough times, to try our faith. Okay, so the Lord does not come in with the standard at that time, then still keep the faith, because ultimately the Lord wants to work another work as long as you believe. All right, so let's go to 2 Native 16. Before we get that, let's go to Sirach 2 and 5. "For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in a furnace of adversity." Okay, in a furnace of adversity. And adversity, as we understand, is let's look it up real quick. All right, difficulties, misfortunes, and look at all the similar words that has to do with adversity. All right, trouble, bad luck, hardship, misadventure, suffering, affliction, sorrow, misery, heartbreak, heartache, woe, pain, trauma, torment, tribulation, torture. All these things are associated with affliction, man, or adversity. So these things are going to come upon us during these times to try us. All right, so when that does happen, verse 6, "Believe in him, and he will help thee, or thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy." That's the thing, This truth is all about patience. So wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest you fall. All right, "Ye that fear the Lord, believe him, and your reward shall not fail." All right, verse 10, we'll skip down. Matter of fact, verse 9, "Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good." We have to hope for good throughout these adversities. It says, "And for everlasting joy and mercy." So look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or who did he ever despise that called upon him? All right, and of course Romans 15 and 4 says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime, they were written for our learning." Through confident patience might have hope. All right, confident patience in the scriptures might have hope. And so we look at our forefathers and how they kept their integrity during a time of trouble, and they were ultimately delivered. All right, and of course the prophecy during this time. All right, let's go to Job 2 and 32. It says, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahuwah by Shema shall be delivered. Okay, and this is gonna be made manifest during these times for the ones that have been sincerely following the Lord and being faithful. We're gonna call on the Lord in the time of trouble, and He will deliver us. All right, at some point, but we had to remain faithful. Now, considering our forefather Daniel, who was thrown into the lion's den, all right, he was thrown completely in the abyss, just so the works of the Lord couldn't be shown and made known, all right, and he kept his integrity the whole time. So we likewise, when we go through these situations, going to be tried to see if we're going to remain faithful. All right, you're going to be presented with certain things that are going to compromise your faith in Yahuwah Shema Shai, and you're going to be challenged with death if you don't do it. And if you fold up, then that is it, man. So we're in a time of prayer, an increase in faith, and all of that. So yeah, when martial law comes, 2 Kings 16 and verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Okay? So when they cast you out of these houses, the Lord does not lift up their standard. 73 says, then shall it be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. All right, that's going to be the point of trial. Okay? 74 says, hear ye my beloved, said the Lord. Yahuwah Shema Shai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So be not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God. Okay, and He's going to save the elect. But these scriptures had to be in you. Patience had to be within you during these times. So I wanted to read this little commentary on our forefather Daniel. All right, going into his faith and how he was delivered. So it says Daniel is one of my heroes of the faith. This is, of course, written by a Christian, but we can apply it, to our faith because we are the true Christians, the true anointed. It says, as a young man, he and others were taken captive to Babylon. Life as they knew it and their place of worship was left in Jerusalem. A new chapter in their life was beginning. Although Daniel had to leave his place of worship in Jerusalem, he did not leave his faith or his resolve to worship and serve the one true God. Yahuwah Shema Shai. The time of testing came for this young man, all right? Those trials of adversity, all right? Being tried like gold in the fire. So it says, and he stood firm. Daniel 1 and 8. Okay, let's go to it real quick. Because Daniel was tried by the Lord and he stood firm. Daniel 1 and 8. But Daniel proposed in his heart or his mind that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat. The scripture say, desire not his dainty meats. Okay. Pertaining to us in this time, we don't desire Esau's perks within his life. And it goes on to say, nor with the wine which he drank. Okay, these philosophies. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not seeking to defile ourselves and bow down into this beast system, by taking Esau's bribes. So going back, it says, all right, under no circumstances would he compromise on his faith or his God. As time passed, the testing increased. And that's the process of the truth. As time passed, the testing increases. Now Daniel was faithful with the decision of denying his need of communication or prayer with Yahuwah Shema Shai. But he had already made up his mind what he would do. He continued to kneel before his creator and pray. And that's what we got to do. That's why the scripture say, pray without ceasing. Okay. It says the result was Daniel was that Daniel was taken. Okay, so Daniel was taken, much to the distress of the king, and put in a den of hungry lions. Now we who do get rounded up, thrown into these concentration camps, are going to be put there for what? To be tried. Since I have often wondered how many lions were in that den, how many others had been eaten alive by those lions, what would have been my reaction as I looked down into that den with roaring lions, hungry lions licking at chops waiting to be fed? But Daniel, that faithful and godly servant, okay? Now we want to remain faithful. We want to remain faithful to Yahuwah Shema and this truth. And in doing it, as the scriptures say, we're going to save ourselves and also them that hear us. First Timothy 4:16. It says, take heed unto thyself, self-examination, and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt save thyself and them that hear thee. So in doing this, we're going to be known as faithful and godly servants. Okay, and it says, but Daniel, that faithful, godly servant, was lowered into that den, and a huge stone was rolled over the entrance. There was no other exit. So we're going to be thrown into situations where there's going to be no out. All right, you're going to have to solely depend on a miracle from Yahuwah Shema Shai. All right, there was no other exit, no other means of protection. It was a live or die, sink or swim situation. So when you get put in those times, what are you going to do? You're going to call upon the Lord. All right. Let's go to Psalms 50. And we'll start at verse 14. Psalms 50:14 says, offer unto Yahuwah Shema Shai thanksgiving. Yeah, we got to be thankful for this truth. And, push his word out, man. All right. And pay thy vows unto the Most High, and call upon him in a day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. Okay. It's all done for the glorification of Yahuwah Shema Shai. And he cannot be glorified unless you're thrown into that situation where there is no out. All right. So it goes and say, how prophetic were the king's words as Daniel was lowered into that den. He shouted, may your God, whom you serve, continually rescue you. Because you're going to have these troops that's going to know who we are. All right. They're going to know who we are when they pick certain of us up. And we're going to be tempted to take that mark. Okay. And they're going to say the same shit. May your God rescue you. So remember that. All right. Same thing was said to Daniel. Can you imagine how dark, as it says, can you imagine how dark that den must have been? Lions circling and roaring, and just imagine the smell of those wild animals on that dirty rock floor. What happened that night in that den was an amazing rescue. See? And this is going to increase our joy in the Lord when the Lord comes through and saves us out of these dire situations. So the light of the world shone bright in the darkness. You got to be thrown into these dark times for the light to shine. It says, and with one word, the mouths of those lions were shut. The situation that was meant for destruction was rescued and turned into a time of communion with the very one who speaks face to face with the Most High. And that's what we're doing right now. All right. We're speaking face to face with Yahuwah Shema Shai by him giving us this knowledge, this truth. All right. So after that, many saw and heard of the Most High, the God of Daniel, because of his decision to follow the Most High, regardless of the cost. All right. He rescues and delivers. He performs signs and wonders in the heavens and on the earth. For he has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions. And these lions, of course, represents Esau. All right. As you get in the book of Psalms, the 10th chapter. Psalms 10 and 8. Esau, he sitteth in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places doth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor. All right. He lieth and wait secretly as a lion in his den. You see, he lieth and wait to catch the poor. He does catch the poor when he draw them into his net. But through that word, the mouth of those lions is going to be stopped. All right. So Yahuwah Shema Shai is going to remain faithful to those who be faithful. So in these times of trouble, remember this. All right, the stories that were written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay? So that we might have comfort and patience of the scriptures and have hope. So yeah, I want to go through that real quick. All the stuff that's going down, I'm going to need faith, unimaginable faith during this time. So Lord willing, you're edified. Until next time, I say shalom.